In the last lecture, we are done with the significance of management, and previous to that, we are done with nature of principles of management. Now, let's move ahead. Here we are going to see about the theories of management. Let's see. Management theories are set of general guidelines given to manager which helps him to manage the organization. Management thinkers like Frederick Wilson, Elton Mayo, Henry Fayol, etc. have introduced theories which have different approaches. Theories are applicable in all type of organization. Managers, if required with appropriate by adding some innovative technique and strategies, can be used. Now here we have seen that the management theories are a sort of a guidelines, or we can say the path or the way to be followed by each and every manager in every organization. It doesn't matter the size of the organization, but if all the organization follows these theories of management, then the working process goes on very smoothly. Many thinkers, management thinkers, have also introduced their different approaches. In this chapter, we are going to see about the two great thinkers or two main management thinkers, that is Henry Fayol and Frederick Wilson, that is F.W. Taylor. Now, their theories are applicable in all type of organization. So, whatever the changes is needed, it has to be done by the manager by adding or by making some innovation in that, and the strategies can be used in their organization respectively. It means old theories are the basis of new theories. Organization, workforce, and society do face some problems like centralization of authority, stress, low motivation, health and behavioral problems, environmental issues, work-life balance, accountability, etc. Theories of management definitely help management people by solving to these issues. These theories have been developed long before years, or many before years ago, but still they can be used or applicable to the new modern theories. See, thinkers ने बहुत पुराना विचार करके ये बनाए थे, और which are applicable now also. Now, there are some problems in the organization like centralization of authority, यानी authority सिर्फ एक ही इंसान के हाथ में होती है, that is called as centralization of the authority. There is lots of stress in the working out of day-to-day management or day-to-day functioning, low motivation of the employees, health and behavioral problems. Also there, environmental issues, lots of in the modern era, and work-life balance. There is not the balance between the work-life, working place and their life going on, which are accountability to each and everyone. So management thinkers or the theories of management help the management in solving all the given issues, because in their theory they have given the solution to this problem, as they have covered each and every part of the issues or the problem which the management may face in their functioning. Henry Fayol, Administrative Theory of Management. You can see the pic of the Henry Fayol. Introduction. Let's see introduction of Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol, born in 1841, died in 1925. A French mining engineer who turned to leading industrialist and a successful manager. He started his career as French mining engineer and French mining company, and achieved the position of chief managing director. After doing many experiments and observations in the organization, Fayol proposed 14 principles. Now, Henry Fayol is a French mining engineer जो पहले काम करते थे माइनिंग फैक्ट्री में, और बाद में he became or he turned up to a industrialist and a successful manager. पहले तो उन्होंने काम करना चालू किया एज ए इंजीनियर इन द कंपनी, एंड लेटर ऑन विथ हिज सक्सेसफुल वर्किंग और द प्रमोशंस ही अचीव्ड द पोजीशन ऑफ चीफ मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर. While doing his work, he has done the several experiments and observations in day-to-day organization or management activities, which he has written or proposed as 14 principles of management, explained in his famous book General and Industrial Administration. जो भी उन्होंने 14 principles बनाए थे from their experiments and observations, he has written down it in his famous book General and Industrial Administration. For his contribution in development of managerial thoughts, he is called as father of modern management. इसलिए उनको फादर ऑफ मॉडर्न मैनेजमेंट बोला गया है फॉर हिज द ग्रेट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशनल वर्क in the managerial thoughts. Fayol suggested 14 principles of management, and they are served or they have been taken as the guidelines for decision making and management action to be carried out by each and every management level manager in each and every organization. वो एक sort of guidelines है, so that the manager need not have to waste their time and they can go through these guidelines and find the appropriate solution to their problem by doing some addition or by doing some modification if required. So let's begin. Here is the summary or the picture explains the 14 principles of management, which we are going to see one by one in this video audio lecture. First principle of division of work. As per this principle, the work is divided into kinds and financial, technical, commercial, security, operations, accounting, and managerial. As per the qualities and capabilities, it's assigned to the employees. It helps in increasing efficiency and expertise employees results in expected productivity level. As the heading only itself is very clear, division of the work. It has been divided into different kinds such as financial, technical, commercial, security, operations, accounting, and managerial. Means what? Here different type of sections have been done in the organization for the smooth carrying out of the management procedure. So as per the qualities and the capabilities, the employees are given their work, which helps in increasing the efficiency, and expertise employees help in expected productivity. उनका एक्सपीरियंस और एक्सपर्टाइजमेंट प्रोडक्शन लेवल को बढ़ाने में काम आता है as they are giving the expected results, which also reduces the time and the targets can be achieved within the prescribed schedule or the time. Here is the pic which shows very clear the division of the work. You can see some people or some are engaged in different types of activities. Let's move to other principles of authority and responsibility. Authority is the right to take decision which is necessary while getting the things done appropriately by subordinates. Authority always comes with responsibility. As it is rightly said, authority and responsibility goes hand in hand. If a manager is given authority to complete the given task in prescribed time, and if he does not get completed, then he will be held responsible for non-compliance of the given task. Every manager should have proper authority on his own to take certain managerial decision for the attainment of goals. Authority and responsibility. Authority means the right to take the decision, which is very necessary while carrying out the work done by the subordinate. Manager जब भी subordinate को काम देता है या उनसे काम करवाता है, in any case, if needed, he has to take the decision at that moment, and he cannot wait for all the board of directors or all the higher authorities to involve in that. In that situation or in that case, he should be given the authority to take the decision. As we are saying that authority and responsibility goes hand in hand. When we are holding the manager for the incompletion of any sort of the work, if he is answerable to that, then he has to be given some authority to take some managerial decision for the attainment of his goal. उसको कुछ डिसीजन रहने का अधिकार भी देना चाहिए. जब हम उसको कैच होल्ड करते हैं कि एक काम पूरा नहीं हुआ है, when he is accountable or answerable to that, he should be given freedom to take the decision at that moment where it is necessary without wasting the time. See, the picture is also very clear: authority and responsibility. Next, third, principles of discipline. According to Fayol, discipline is the most important thing in the organization. The rules that govern organization must be obeyed and respected by all employees. Good discipline results in effective leadership, also helps to achieve the goals in the organization. Understanding between management and workers regarding organization rule must be clear. At all levels of management should observe the basic discipline. Without discipline, nothing can be go properly. Not only in the organization, but also it should be followed in our day-to-day life, so that there will be a proper coordination or proper flow of all the functions smoothly and effectively. Discipline means what? Here the rules, whatever is been observed, followed in the organization, should be obeyed and respected by each and every employee. No one should disobey the rules. Good discipline से क्या होता है? There is a effective leadership, so that हर बार उनको बोलने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, because the rules and regulations are being displayed or it is being told to everyone, which has to be just followed for avoiding the chaos and confusion or the conflicts between the management and workers. As by following the discipline, there is a good understanding or good mutual understanding between the management and the workers, if everyone follows the rules and if it is very clear to each and every one in the levels of the management. This is a pic of discipline. Principle of unity of command. Each member of organization should receive the orders from only one superior. It also helps in managing conflicts and solving disputes among the employees in the organization. It also helps in avoiding confusion. An employee, if receives command from more than one superior at a time, then in this situation, he is confused and not able to take decision who's to be followed first. This indicates wrong approach. Organizational hierarchy should be well defined. Each employee should know his immediate superior and should receive orders from him only. Now, unity of command. As the heading clearly explained, command. Command yani the orders. It should be received by one boss to one person is the main thing or the main part of this principle. If एक employee के एक से भी ज्यादा बॉस रहेंगे, then he will be more confused. किसकी ऑर्डर पहले सुनूं, पहले बॉस के सुनूं या दूसरे बॉस के सुनूं, क्योंकि अगर एक का सुनेगा तो दूसरा नाराज होगा. सो ये सारा प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा और which is not good sign also and approach also, and it will create the chaos and confusion for that employee also. It's not good for the healthy organization working also, और इससे disputes बढ़ेंगे employee और managers के बीच में. So each one should get orders from only one person, which is already well defined in the organizational hierarchy or in the levels of the management. This is the picture of unity of command. Here you can see in the pink color only one boss and the subordinates listening to him or his command. You can see the pic here, right approach and the wrong approach. In the right approach, you can see one boss and his subordinate. In the wrong approach, you can see both the bosses are there, which are giving orders to three of them. So here is the confusion, chaos, and the work or the efficiency is not proper in this way, and the conflicts also may arise. So this is the wrong approach. The right approach is being given. Next, principles of unity of direction. It states that there should be one head, one plan in every organization. The objective of each group in the organization should be same, and group should be directed by one manager using single plan. You can see also in very clearly in the pic, the main boss is explaining the direction or the things to be followed to the subordinates. There are different groups or there are different departments in the organization, so it should not happen that every department is following the separate or there are different plans. No, because overall the target of each and every department in the organization is to achieve the targets which have been set by the organizations in the beginning only as a sort of their objective goals to be obtained or achieved by each and everyone. तो naturally सबका एक ही plan होना चाहिए, सबका एक ही मकसद होना चाहिए. So each and everyone should follow only one single plan. Is the principle of unity of direction. एक ही plan को पूरे organization ने follow करना चाहिए. Next, principle of subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. As per this principle, the interest of an individual must be given less important than the interest of the organization. The manager should always consider the interest of the whole group rather than any one single employee while taking decision in the organization. The interest of the organization should be protected first, and the personal interest should be subordinated. Example is given very clear here. In every game, the intention of the player is to win the match and team rather than his individual record. See, it's very clearly been mentioned here that organization, when they are taking the decisions, they have to give the importance of the organization first towards the attainment or the achievement of their targets, aim, objective, vision, mission very clearly. उस वक्त किसी एक का इंटरेस्ट देखना जरूरी नहीं होता है और देखना भी नहीं चाहिए. इंडिविजुअल को कम इंपॉर्टेंस देना है और ग्रुप को या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के इंटरेस्ट को ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देना है. दिस इज द मेन थिंग बीन गिवन हियर. व्हाइल डूइंग एनी डिसीजन और प्रमोशन देते वक्त भी ये नहीं सोचना है कि ये मेरे रिश्तेदार, ये मेरा नजदीक का दोस्त है or he is a good colleague of me. No, this is the wrong approach. It should not be done. Subordinate इंटरेस्ट बाद में आता है, पहले ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल इंटरेस्ट देखना है कि वो उस पोजीशन के लिए सही है या नहीं. अगर वो उस एम्प्लॉय उस पोजीशन के लिए सही नहीं तो उसको हाइक भी नहीं देनी है और प्रमोशन भी नहीं देना है. बिकॉज यहाँ पर उसका इंडिविजुअल इंटरेस्ट नहीं देखना है, सबऑर्डिनेट इंटरेस्ट नहीं देखना है. ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल इंटरेस्ट इज टू बी सीन एट द प्रायर बेसिस. कोई भी प्लेयर गेम में या मैचेस में अपनी टीम को कैसे जिताना है इसके बारे में हर वक्त फोकस रहता है और सोचता रहता है, रादर देन मेरा स्कोर कितना होगा. अगर सचिन तेंदुलकर सिर्फ अपने स्कोर की तरफ ध्यान देता था तो इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जीतता था. विराट कोहली, धोनी, दे आर द गुड एग्जाम्पल फॉर दिस प्रिंसिपल बिकॉज दे थिंक of only the team India, how it can win, not for their individual score. Naturally team जीतेगी तो उनका भी फायदा ही है और उनका भी स्कोर बढ़ेगा, नाम बढ़ेगा. But here the first priority should be given to organizational goals and not to the subordinate or any individual interest. This is the peak of subordination of individual interest to common interest. Next, principle of centralization. Centralization refers to the concentration power of authorities. In some small organization, power are vested in one or few hands. In large organization, there is decentralization of power and authority. These principles state that there must be balance between centralization and decentralization in the organization. It can be done as per the size or organization and nature of the activity. Centralization यानी क्या? एक ही इंसान के हाथ में power concentrate रहना. This is mostly been observed in small organization जहाँ पर ज्यादा लोग काम भी नहीं करते और powers ज्यादा करके एक या few लोगों के हाथ में रहते हैं. But if their organization is large, then in that case there should be decentralization of power and authority. It should be separated. This principle states that balance रखना चाहिए centralization and decentralization के बीच में as per the size, nature and the activity of the organization. इससे क्या होता है, काम smoothly and functioning goes very smoothly. See, centralization and decentralization. Principle of remuneration. Appropriate remuneration to staff or employee is the principle to keep them satisfied financially, to retain them for long span of time with the organization. The productivity and efficiency level in total, if considered of any organization, is being affected by fair remuneration. The skills, expertise, knowledge, market trend, tenure, cost of living, profitability of organization, so be considered while fixing the remuneration. Remuneration here means the payment wages been given to the staff or the employee. कोई भी इंसान काम क्यों करता है, for satisfying their basic needs and the financial needs. So organization या management को employees को ज्यादा समय के लिए अपने पास बनाए रखना है कि वो उनकी कंपनी से छोड़ के ना जाए. That in that case they have to see that they are paid very properly, they are given the good scale as per their designation and their work is concerned, so that they may not think of changing or shifting the job in this situation also. For this, skills, expertise, knowledge, market trend, tenure, cost of living, profitability of organization, इन सारी चीजों का ध्यान भी रखना चाहिए जब किसी एम्प्लॉय का रेम्यूनरेशन, सैलरी, वेजेस फिक्स किया जाता है. As per his productivity and efficiency level को भी ध्यान में रखना चाहिए, and it should be not affected by any other conditions. You can see there different peoples have been given the different salaries in the pic very clearly as per their experience or as per their designation in the company or their efficiency, productivity, their position. It also matters. Next, principle of scalar chain. Scalar chain means the hierarchy of authority from top level to lower level for the purpose of communication. Traditionally used scalar chain was time consuming. देखो पहले कैसे होता था, जनरल मैनेजर्स से information functional manager को दी जाती थी. From the functional manager it was given to supervisor, and from supervisor to foreman. 1, 2, 3 and 4 stages was there, or more than that if the organization level of hierarchy is more. So it was very time consuming, and the proper decision was not carried out as it was taking lots of time. To take speedy decision and to avoid longer chain, cross communication or direct communication is followed by various organizations known as gangplank. For proper permission of authority is needed for direct communication. If in this figure, if you will see, D has to communicate to G, but in the scalar chain, what was been done prior, D has to communicate to C, C to B, B to A to E to F, and then F to G. It was very time consuming, long procedure. But in the new trend or in the new procedure, the various organizations are using direct communication. This is known as gangplank. That is, D will directly communicate to G without following the proper path which was been given previously. But for this purpose, the permission or the authorities should agree to carry out such direct communication between the employees, subordinates as per the situation. In the above diagram, as I have explained earlier, the communication between D and G should follow through proper hierarchy to avoid delay in or emergency situation. Direct communication should be there, called as scalar, called as gangplank. This is the peak of scalar chain. Principle of order. It's based on a place for everything and everything in its place. See, very nicely and very clearly it's been stated. For maximum efficiency, human resources and material should be in the right place at right time. Human resources should be placed at right place on right job. Focuses on proper utilization of physical and human resources being done by this principle. Very nice. This principle is, it's based on a place for everything and everything in its place. Whenever नाइट शिफ्ट के लोग अगर का एम्प्लॉय या वर्कर काम करके जाते हैं तो उन्होंने हर एक चीज अपनी जगह पे रखनी चाहिए, वेर एवर इट वॉज. सो इट इज सेड दैट प्लेस फॉर एवरीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग इन इज प्लेस. द डे शिफ्ट employees or the workers, whenever they come for the job, they need not have to search for the tools and the equipments or whatever the things needed for carrying out their work. If the things are not in the proper place, lots of time is been wasted. Then again there will be irritation and the worker become panic. In that case, the efficiency is low because of their stress, irritation, anger, for not getting the things at the proper place. So for maximum efficiency, human resources and material should be the right place and at right time. सही जगह पे सही टाइम पे सही लोगों का काम करना बहुत जरूरी होता है, so that it focuses on proper utilization of physical as well as the human resources in the organization. This is principle of order. प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इक्विटी, नाम से ही पता चलता है इक्विटी. मैनेजर शुड बी फेयर एज वेल एज फ्रेंडली टू द सबऑर्डिनेट. डिवीजन ऑफ वर्क, डेलीगेटिंग अथॉरिटीज, डिसाइडिंग मॉनेटरी टर्म्स, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन बिटवीन द एम्प्लॉय शुड बी अवॉइडेड. रेम्यूनरेशन शुड बी ऑन द लेवल्स at which the subordinates work and not on the departments. Employee working at same level but in different departments should be paid same wages. It helps in avoiding conflicts in the organization. Equity means equality. So मैनेजर ने या मैनेजमेंट ने हमेशा फ्रेंडली भी होना चाहिए. हर बार गुस्सा, डांट, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स नहीं होना चाहिए. There should be good environment also, fair and friendly environment with the subordinate also. इसलिए while doing some division or while distributing the work, that is division of the work, delegating authorities, deciding monetary terms, discrimination between employees avoid करने चाहिए, so that there would not be any conflicts और मनमुटाव भी नहीं होंगे in the organization. अगर मैनेजर का पेमेंट डिसाइड किया जा रहा है तो हर एक मैनेजर का डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट का सेम डेजिग्नेशन, सेम लेवल का पेमेंट सेम होना चाहिए. उसमें डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं करना चाहिए कि ये HR डिपार्टमेंट का मैनेजर है, ये फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट का मैनेजर है, ये प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट का मैनेजर है या ये सप्लाई डिपार्टमेंट का मैनेजर है. बट ही इज द मैनेजर. सो ईच एंड एवरी मैनेजर वर्किंग इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, बट ओनली उनका डिपार्टमेंट अलग है, इसके कारण उनके पेमेंट में डिफरेंशिएट नहीं करना चाहिए. So to avoid the conflicts, it should be stopped. This is what the principle of equity states. Here is the pick of equity. Principle of stability of tenure. At the time of recruitment of employees in the organization, management should ensure them about stability of tenure or job security. It plays very important role as sense of belongingness among the employees is being created. The efficiency of employees affect adversely always if there is insecurity in job. Job security increases employees turnover ratio. किसी को जॉब देते वक्त ही अगर उसको उसका टेन्योर या काम करने का पीरियड स्पैन क्लियरली बताया जाएगा, so that he will be secure for that many period of time and he will work properly, efficiently, कंसंट्रेशन से काम करेगा. हर बार उसको टेंशन में नहीं रहना पड़ेगा, अरे मेरा कल मुझे काम को जाना है या नहीं, कल मेरा जॉब है या नहीं. इसलिए एग्रीमेंट भी किया जाता है और देयर इज ऑल्सो द लेटर ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट गिवन फॉर द स्पेसिफिक पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इफ रिक्वायर्ड और दे मे बी कंटिन्यूड इफ देयर एफिशिएंसी, प्रोडक्टिविटी इज यूजफुल फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अगर उनको एक फिक्स पीरियड बताया जाएगा या उनको कंटिन्यू किया जाएगा तो उनमें एक सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंगनेस आता है, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इट इंक्रीजेस द एफिशिएंसी of the production of that employee. Because एक इनसिक्योरिटी ऑफ जॉब का टेंशन उनके दिमाग से चला जाता है, क्योंकि उनको पता है उनका जॉब वो रहने वाला है, वो उनका जॉब खोने नहीं वाले हैं. सो देयर जॉब इज सिक्योर, देन दे विल वर्क डेडिकेटली होल हार्टेडली टुवर्ड्स द अचीवमेंट ऑफ द गोल्स एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. Stability and tenure of employee. This is the pin given here. Principle of initiative. Initiative means volunteering to do the work in an innovative way. Employees take initiative while working on given task. When there is freedom to think and work on new ideas. The employee's initiative is always welcomed by manager through discussion on those new ideas. In this way, healthy organization culture is being created. Initiative means to take part or to take a step ahead for any purpose of the work. Employees also take initiative in if they are given the freedom to think, and if their idea think and explore on the new ideas or do some innovative. अगर उनके इनोवेशन बहुत अच्छा है तो मैनेजर्स ने उनका इनोवेशन का दाद देनी चाहिए, उनको प्रेस करना चाहिए, एंड इफ रिक्वायर्ड उनके साथ डिस्कशन करके उस इनोवेटिव आइडिया को किस प्रकार से उनकी कंपनी में इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा सकता है, इसकी तरफ भी ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए. सो दैट दिस क्रिएट्स द हेल्दी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कल्चर in the management process or the organization, so that there will be a feeling of belongingness and the employee will give their best. Initiatives. So you can see in the pic the red color, employee is turning a step ahead. This is the principle of initiative. Here's the last principle of Esprit de Corps. What it means? Teamwork. Esprit de Corps means union is strength. As Henry Fayol gives more emphasis on teamwork, human resources are the valuable assets of any organization. As running any organization is a group activity, all the difficulties can be solved quickly if all the employees are working as a union with mutual trust. To achieve the organization goals easily, as a leader, manager, create spirit of teamwork and understanding among employees. Now, up till now, we have seen that there should be the union in the employees, or there should be the spirit of teamwork, then only they can achieve their targets. So human resources एक very important part है किसी भी organization का, क्योंकि organization group में काम करता है, and whenever there are the group, there are the people involved in that. So if there are any problems also, it can be solved very properly in a very proper way manner if there is the union and the mutual trust between the employees working there. So organization goals को achieve करने के लिए मैनेजर ने एक टीम स्पिरिट क्रिएट करनी चाहिए in and the understanding among the employees. There should be the trust in the people. Esprit de Corps. You can see in the yellow there is a manager and this is his teamwork. So thank you, dear students. If you find my video lecture very worth, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Also click on the bell icon. Suggestions are always accepted and it's are valuable. Thank you very much. Keep on watching for the next updation. Thank you.